Hello, everybody. I tried to click on it. Come on, game. Come on. There we go. I don't know why it always wants me to do that, but... There. Don't show this again. Oh, sound. Hold on. No, no. No. 8. 8 is a good number. Okay, let's try what to set up for this one. Good. Oof. I don't know what that means, because I actually don't know. I don't know if it actually means anything other than something. My phone in the stand so I can see if anything happens there. So welcome everyone back to Danganronpa. If that's how you pronounce it. Because they... Yeah. Close enough. Load game, and let's get back to where we left off. We have now gotten our 2 first murders. And we will try to figure out who did it. That was the first one. You. Hey. Before I start searching for Sayaka's killer, we need to decide what to do about securing the crime scene. What do you mean? Oh, I forgot my face cam. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little blue today. That's fine. I don't have my candle here because it's too bright already in this room. So, that's fine. I'm trying to figure out what I can do with my face. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck with this. But okay, let's begin. I'm gonna cover one eyeball. That's what I can do. Is one more horrible? Like a horror villain. You're thinking of putting someone on guard. My phone is like there. You can touch. No, you can't see it. Pat pat. You're thinking of putting someone on guard duty so nobody can disturb the area, aren't you? After all, if the culprit decides to destroy the evidence, we're pretty much screwed.
Hey.
In that case, I don't mind doing it. I don't like having to think anyway. I'll let you guys figure out who killed that chick. Okay. Then we can let Mondo look after the scenes. Well, no. We can't just leave him here alone.
What?
There. What? Why the hell not?
Stop talking.
Isn't it obvious? If you're the culprit, that's the first thing you would do. No, what would the first thing you would do? By volunteering for guard duty, you're in the position to destroy all the evidence you want. Fuck you!
So then.
Fine then. And I'll stand there on guard duty as well. That way there is no problem. 2-player co-op based on defense with the 2 of them. With their stats, they're totally OP. True. Since we won't be able to help investigate, we're putting our faith in the rest of you.
But
I'm still pretty freaked out, but I'll try. Guess I got everyone else, but the one I want. No. So you finally noticed.
What the crap?
What? Notice what? I was looking through the Monokuma file we received, and I noticed something very obvious and very unusual. Huh? What are you talking about? Go ahead, take a look. Noticed anything interesting about where Sayaka died? She died in Makoto Storm. But she's right. And could it be? All at once, everyone turned to me. Hold on a second. You all got it wrong. For just one night, I traded rooms with her. And it because she was afraid. You expect us to believe that? You tell us the truth. Just tell us. The look in everyone's eyes had done a complete 180 for just a few minutes earlier. The feeling of suspicion and fear had returned. In other words, you think I did it. Should probably not have talked to these guys. I want to talk to you. You know.
What should I do?
Some guy right in front of us. They. Okay, fair. Suck it out. I want to talk to you. We can't run away from the situation, so we have no choice but to move forwards. You're right.
What the heck?
I hate this. Still, we don't have a choice. You have to figure out who did it, or else we're all dead. Do I have a hat? Can I put? Do I have anything? My hair is the flattest thing ever on this existence. Leon, what do you have to say, my man?
Are you serious?
So we're really gonna try and figure out who did it. Sounds suspicious. I don't want to do your voice. Let's talk to you instead. We need to hurry up and figure out who the culprit is. Okay, I don't think anyone else have any more information. You think this is still a joke, so yeah, no. Anything else here? I guess I can react to her again. I gently place my hand on her lifeless body, touch her wrist to check for a pulse. I'm like, wait a minute. Like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I don't know why I even bothered to check after those injuries and losing that much blood. Frankly, I'd be shocked if she did survive something like that. Huh? Hold on. Hold on. Just wait a second. She's dead? That means that means everything that's happened so far is real. It's not a joke or whatever. It's really real? Oh no, someone save me!
What's your problem?
Just now accepting that?
So then,
Are we all done talking? We need to begin our investigation soon. At this point, we should split up. We need to go get to the bottom of this and find out who killed Sayaka. We'll have to collect clues to form a foundation, then construct an argument to come to a final decision. If you get this wrong,
so
well, do I really have to say anymore?
actually,
I'd rather you didn't know.
goodbye.
Everyone pray for good luck. With that, Kyoko hurried out of the gym.
Goodbye.
They're going too. And just like that, he was gone before we realized it.
Yo.
No, yeah, I'm on guard duty, huh? But I heard that the crime scene of the crime. Dyslexia, hello. Welcome to my stream. Please leave. Ah, that's right.
Hey, damn it.
Let me just say this right now. If whatever son of a bitch did this here right now, and they're thinking of destroying that evidence,
You're fucking
they
dead.
better not be letting me find them. I'll skip the trial and cave their goddamn skulls in myself. I'm serious, I'll fucking them up. I think it's a deadly word, it's hanging in the air. What was that sound?
So,
But, I mean, we're not detectives or anything, you know. And we're gonna investigate a murder? And how do we do something like that?
Anyway,
We don't really have to do anything in particular. We already know who the killed Sayaka. What are you implying?
this is very suspicious.
It was you. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Hey, don't come any closer. Are you gonna kill me next?
So,
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot. I'm not sure what Makoto's. I'm not sure that Makoto's guilty yet. That's true. We may as well at least check just to check. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't help investigate. Wait, why not? Not good with blood. It takes all it takes is one glimpse and I'm blacked out.
Oh yeah?
Well, whatever. I don't think anyone was expecting much from me anyway. Alright, I guess I better go get going. Sure, you do, buddy. Wait, don't go yet. You have to hear me out. But it was pointless. Everyone had already left. And their parting looks at me had still been filled with suspicion. Does everyone really think I'm the killer? How did it turn out like this? Well, she was in your room, that's why. Seriously, they got it all wrong. And they also found you fainted in front of her. Why do they have to suspect me? I have to do something, otherwise everyone will... Hello.
Execution is execution. Execution.
Thanks for the recap, buddy.
Electric chair. Poison gas. Torn apart like a paper plane in a hurricane.
Cat airs. Can that help me? The second one fell behind my screen. Damn it. Cat airs might be able to help me, but it's so dark you don't think you'll be able to see much. Also, these are black. This is... Yeah, it is the right air. I'm in. I can't let that happen. I can't let things turn out the way Monokuma wants. I have to... All I have to do is find out who really did it. Who really killed Sayaka. Killed. Dyslexia, go away! Oh, I just want to pick up the thing that dropped from here. And... I didn't do nothing. Is it skipping text without me? Come on. But it was discovered in Maikoto's room, in the dormitory. All evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. There was an injury on her wrist. There was also an injury on her wrist. Specifically, the waist appears to have suffered a fracture. The wrist, not the waist. Why am I... Okay, can this not punish for we have to find out what happened? Someone might have to find out the truth. So that we can all survive. 24 seconds. Can it not be on auto? To find out... No! To find out been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. How do I make it not go auto? Because I want to be able to read this in my speed. Because I'm so damn slow. Okay, I want to put this air in. I'm just aiming way too low, that's my problem here. These airs are adorable. Since I'm using a facecam now, I actually can use them. For more than just my own enjoyment. Although they look crooked AF. This one is falling up. That's better. Just me sitting crooked, it's making them look crooked. So I can just pull them down whenever I want. My hair is so straight. Okay, I don't think there's much more we can actually do here, so... Let's just get on. I'll place them a little. More forwards. Oh. First of all, should head back to the scene of the crime. My room. We won't make any progress without investigating there. True. So I headed to my room where Sayaka's corpse still remained. I pressed the button, something worked. But I examined the state of my room a little closer. There you go. It might reveal something new. This is the replica sword I bought for self-defense. This means it's back somehow. I think not, it's just the sheath, but huh? There's some scratches on this sleeve. Sleeve? I don't know. They must have been made with something sharp. But how did that get scratched up in the first place? If someone used the sword during the struggle, it doesn't make sense for this thing to be damaged. I mean, if you're gonna attack someone with a sword, the first thing you do is unsheath it. A heavy stuff like this would only get in the way. Sheath. Dyslexia, go away. It could just slide off in the middle of the fight. So why are there scratches on this sleeve? Nice. Because sword sleeve that's been added to the truth. Okay. This is the replica sword I bought for self-defense. Plus, I'm taking odd thing. Yeah. I hadn't actually looked at the blade itself till now. I shouldn't be surprised. It shouldn't be surprised it's coated in gold too. On top of that, some of the gold coating has come off of parts of the blade and the handle. Yeah, the handle especially is missing a lot of its coating. I remember the coating sticking to you even if you just touched it a little bit. Because sword's been added to tooth bullet. Gotcha. Lint roller, that one's already... yeah, well less on it. So I can see how dirty my room was and decided to clean up a little? Well. Bad listener was attacked. What the hell happened here? I want to check my drawer. Can I? Use in the drawer. Let's see how it doesn't use at all. Since I mean it's mine and I haven't had any reason to open it. I can't even imagine the situation where I'd need a toolkit like this.
Yo.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, Mondo.
What?
We ain't exactly in the mood to be building fucking furniture, right? So you haven't used yours either?
What?
Not just me. No one's busted out theirs out yet, as far as I know. Actually, we were talking about it yesterday.
By the way.
None of you guys have opened their toolkits yet, because, like, why the hell would we? I think it's a toolkit that's been added. Good. I like your... hello. I didn't see you. Hey. I quietly called her name while she was investigating this area. But...
what are you doing? Isn't it obvious? No. Not really.
dude, you have legs for days.
I'm searching. Searching?
She was down on her knees. Don't know, she's not. Expecting every inch of my room.
Did you lose a contact or something?
Dude! Someone just died. You're trying to make fun of her? You really think this is the type of person you're talking to? I don't know what she's doing exactly, but she seems to be concentrating pretty hard on it. Yeah, so leave her be. If you see this letter, she suddenly stood up straight and said,
Listen.
Are you a clean freak? No, I don't think so. But what? Nodding, she glanced around my room one more time.
I see.
Interesting. What's interesting?
Hey.
Just As I suspected, there's something very unusual about your room. Unusual? What do you mean?
So,
I've searched your floor from one corner to the other. I didn't find a single strand of hair. Really?
indeed.
Not one hair from the victim and not one hair from you, even though you've been living here. You know, now that you mention it, I noticed something while I was looking around before. Thought that it looked like the lint roller in my room had been used, but I never touched it. Could someone use it to...
I see.
Very interesting. Your room didn't have a single hair in it, and someone used your lint roller without your knowledge. In other words, some other than you came in and scrubbed your room clean. Was it Sayaka or the killer?
Well,
That's the question, isn't it? Nice. Cleaner has been added to my dynamic. Thank you. So it is beneficial to talk to the guys. No pad is still here, but I just checking everything, okay, bud? Someone trashed something? I don't think this stand is gonna be much. Yeah, didn't think so. My key. Why not? Let's check that again. Wait a minute. Must be my room key. If I remember correctly. Ah, that's right. You have to trade keys. Wait, weren't we in my room when she said that? When we switched rooms, we switched keys too. So Sayaka's would have had that key here in my room the entire time. But wait, if that's true, then how did the killer get into the room in the first place? Could Sayaka have forgotten to lock the door? No, that seems impossible. The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching? After saying that, there's no way she would have forgotten to lock it or open it for any reason. Well, maybe she dropped the key somewhere and someone else grabbed it or something? Oh, it's not possible either. Sayaka was in here when we switched rooms. And with how scared she was, she wouldn't have gone walking around. She couldn't have dropped it. So, how did the killer... Yeah, switching rooms have been added to the truth bullet section of my book. Nice. Can I investigate it, or am I leaving? Check it out first about. Yeah, it was... Suck it up. Suck it up. Do you think I'm guilty too?
Hey.
I'm not trying to make assumptions like that. I simply don't know whether or not you did this. Whatever decision the rest of you can come up with, I will follow your lead. I see. You, my man.
By the way.
You know, I realized something while I was on guard duty. The killer could have already destroyed some evidence, right? Before anyone found the body, I mean. There's a trash room here in the dorms, right? They could have tossed some stuff in there. Nice! Yeah, that's definitely possible.
You son of a bitch!
Dirty bastard.
Shit.
Anyone who raises their hand to a woman is scum and deserves death. That's what my brother taught me.
Fucking dead.
So if I ever find that son of a bitch that did this, I'm gonna pound his goddamn face in. But what if it's a girl that did it?
Yo.
That's that'll all get sorted out when the time comes. Nice dude. I should look around here first. Check the spots later. Find scratch marks on the walls. Fine. Scratch marks on bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? It looks like there must have been some kind of fight in my room. Damn it, I was right there in the other room. If only I'd heard something.
Wait.
That would not have been possible. Huh? Don't you remember? All of our rooms are completely soundproof. So something could happen in the room next to you and there's no way you would know.
Well.
Perhaps this is another of Monokuma's strategies, creating an ideal setting for murder. Definitely. And it's a struggle. The ground too, I guess? Is that struggle? No.
By the way,
Okay, this is just repeating.
you son of a shit. You're fucking dead. Yo,
Get old fam. Camera? Yes, I think that's the only thing I haven't done through. The mastermind must be using them to keep an eye on everything that happened here. They don't do anything to stop what's happening, they just keep on watching. Okay, so I got all of those things. I think I've gotten everything, haven't I?
Hey,
Nothing on the other side of the door. Finally, you can go. No, I can't let it get to me. I can't afford to freeze up now. Forcing myself to push my panic down, I stepped into the bathroom. Looking at her made it painfully clear it wasn't a dream or an illusion. She had lost everything that made her her. Sayaka. All at once I was overcome with dizziness, nausea, the urge to burst out in tears. But I can't hesitate now. Why? Why did Sayaka have to die? I have to uncover the truth. I have to find out what happened. I wanted to give up. I wanted to collapse, but that thought held me up and supported me. It's still chapter 1! God damn! I have to. It's so obvious. Look how Sayaka's on the wall behind her. And there I saw... written in blood, that was the number 11037? Did Sayaka do this? Oh my gosh, you don't know. Oh, poor soul. Tell myself it seems like I can face what I saw, but now that's the time. Now is not the time to think like that. I pull out the Monica file to verify what it said about her body. Some sort of sharp object was thrust into her stomach. It must have been the killing blow. But whatever they used to kill her, where did they get it? That's definitely something I should look into later. Also, according to the Monica file, Sayaka's right wrist is broken. Her wrist does look swollen and bloody. That's for sure. Wait, would it swell up even if she's dead? Because I don't think the fight lasted that long, but I don't remember. But there's something sort of glittery on her wrist too. Right there, where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery. That definitely concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is there's some blood on her left index finger, but that's it. The palms on both her hands are totally spotless, so how come only one on her left finger? Take her fist. The stab wound in the stomach is what killed her. So when she broke her wrist, that must have happened earlier on. I mean, how would her wrist get broken after she's already been dead? You can smash up a body pretty well, even if they're dead. I'm just saying. Turn on my light. What light side of my face should I illuminate? This one. Stay. Yeah, the killer attacked Sayaka in the main room, which is where her wrist got broken. After that, the killer cornered her in the bathroom, where they inflicted the deadly wound. The water from the shower gets turned off at nighttime. Why, thank you. So shower protector must have something so from the killing blow. Sneep. Let's try this one, guys. Okay, then. Oh no. Okay. Ah, this is a spoiler. I can't. Okay, there's nothing else here.
It would seem.
It looked like you found it, right, Makoto? The bloody numbers. It's most likely Saka's dying message. I've never seen something written in blood before. It really was her final message. It's as if she wrote it with life itself.
Right.
Do you often talk like an aspiring poet? But the numbers she wrote, what do they mean? 11037. I have no idea what that could possibly mean.
So.
The way she wrote it, the numbers, make me think she wanted to use her body to block them. If she wrote them in a location while she still was sitting the way we found her, it means she must have wrote them by turning only her hand towards the wall. If you were to write something in that position, do you know what the result would be? The result?
Well.
Think about it. You're not gonna tell me?
Makoto.
You need to uncover the mystery of this case yourself. Otherwise, the case will end and you'll remain undiscovered. Unconvinced. I have no idea what you're trying to say, but it's obvious you're not gonna tell me. Dying message has been added to the bullet. It's like it means, but honestly I have no idea. Oh, I know who I should talk to. When it comes to numbers, who's better to ask than the ultimate programmer?
Makoto.
And there's one other thing I want to ask you about. Do you know how the door to your bathroom got broken? Broken? Oh, you mean how it gets stuck?
What?
Get stuck? Yeah, I guess I'm the only one, but the door doesn't fit the frame quite right. When I first tried to use it, I thought it was just locked. But once you learn the trick, it opens no problem. The bathroom door frame has been added to the truth bullet Seijun, so the door doesn't quite fit the frame, huh? But actually I'm referring to the broken doorknob. Huh? The doorknob?
That's right.
You didn't notice? Well, just try closing the bathroom door. I'm sure you'll see right away what I'm talking about. I did what Kyoko said and shut the bathroom door. Huh? The doorknob? I'm not done with you!
So then.
Afraid to the doorknob. Fine. What the heck? The doorknob's practically about to fall off. Was it like this? Thank you. Someone must have used the screwdriver or something similar to unscrew it. Whatever it was, it's obvious this is intentional. What? It was intentional? Why would someone want to do that?
So...
I guess maybe they were trying to get the door unlocked and ended up breaking the whole thing. But my bathroom doesn't have a lock on it. Only the girls' bathroom can lock, right? She stood there for a while, lost in thought, then apparently struck with a sudden realization. She shot a question at me.
Just a second.
I have just one more question for you. You mentioned earlier that your bathroom door would get stuck, right? Did you tell anyone about that? Oh, well, I did tell Sayaka about it last night when we switched rooms. So what you're saying is only you and Sayaka knew about it. Interesting. She had the slightest hint of a smirk on her face. I got the sense that she was really starting to get into all this.
I see.
Then that clears that up. Huh? What clears what up? I'm so lost.
Goodbye.
Well, as if forgetting I was even there, she suddenly turned and left the room. Nice, doorknob. I wasn't really standing like this, but I've already given my room a good once over. Maybe I should go look around somewhere else. Still looking into where the murder weapon might have been from. And also, I should look into that DVD Sayaka got. With Sayaka dead, I have no choice but to see for myself what was in that video. On top of that, I'm sure There are some other areas worth checking out too. Maybe I should see what everyone else thinks, if they'll even talk to me, that is. Okay. Time to head out. Yes, leave the area. I do also want to check the trash room. Our names have been switched. Huh? It's definitely in my room, but the nameplate has Sayaka's name on it. Huh? This is Sayaka's room, right? But the nameplate has my name on it. And the nameplates of my room and Sayaka's room were switched. So all that effort I put into switching rooms without anyone knowing was totally pointless. But why would anyone do that? Yeah. Actually, hello.
Seems like
Something doesn't seem right. The monochrome file said Sayaka was killed in your room. Just can't stop thinking about it. Could it be the nameplate? Okay, but I do want to check the trash room though. Also the CD. First trash room. Because I've been here too, so. Okay, well, that's locked. There's a sturdy gate there.
Monokuma appears!
It's the end of the line! The trash room. This is where all the trash in the school eventually winds up. How do you get this gate open?
No, you can't go any further!
The entry beyond there's no entry beyond at this point. The only person on cleaning duty is allowed in. Cleaning duty?
No, you can't go any further!
Who's on cleaning duty?
No, you can't go any further!
This is stupid. It'll be faster to just go around and ask the others.
No, you can't go any further!
Cleaning duty. Why did he just repeat himself? So, excuse me? There's a hatch on the floor. Don't budge. Must be locked. Nice. I'll take it. Okay, so they definitely did not. No, I'm not gonna try that. It's fine. You there yet? Yes, please. Okay. Her video was in the garbage. Now let's see if I can enter her room. Yes. Anyway, starts like I need to borrow this DVD. Time to leave. Hey, bye. Knife is definitely from the kitchen, by the way, but I want to see this DVD. I don't know how much time it'll give me. I think basically as much as I want, but just in case. I don't. You're so loud. Tape room. That's wrong. Memory is failing me. Here we go. Oh my god, it's the mosquito bites. I hate them so much. I hate mosquitoes. I should be able to use. I should be able to see what's on the DVD. The DVD that Sayaka threw in the garbage. I sat down in front of the screen and put the DVD in the player. I pushed play and the screen was dark for a few seconds, but then an image slowly appeared. It looked like some kind of concert. And standing on stage, front and center, was a face I recognized all too well. Sayaka. She was there along with the friends she said had been so important to her. She was positively glowing there in front of the crowd. So full of life. Such a tiny skirt. Seeing the image made it even harder to accept. Except that she was dead. My vision started to blur and darkened, and then that voice I'd come to despair, so much began to float out of the speakers.
Sayaka Mizono, the ultimate pop sensation, lead singer for a world-famous all-girl pop band. For these girls,
Space
the
Dad.
glowing spotlight only made them that much more beautiful. But then...
Suddenly, the screen went dark, and then the next moment, I saw something I could hardly believe. What the? Sayaka disappeared from the stage, which was now in ruins. But what I noticed even more than that was the figures of the other girls, who had all simply collapsed.
This ultra-successful team suddenly fell apart. None of them will ever perform on stage again. None of them will ever feel the warmth of the spotlight. For Sayaka, there's simply nowhere for her to return to. So here's the billion-dollar question. What, oh what, could have caused the group to go to pieces?
Look for the answer after graduation. That warning, the video cut off. What the hell? That wasn't real, right? They're a super famous pop group. Everyone knows who they are. If he... Is he trying to say he was even able to get to them? If it really did happen, everyone in the outside world must be going crazy. What kind of person would take things this far? Hard to escape. I put so much stuff in front of me right now, I don't even know. Let's put you on the other side there. Okay. Kitchen. Dining hall was not here. Was it? No, it wasn't. Oh yeah, I can't go through. Just let me walk. Let me game. Knife has to be from here, come on. I would have lost anything else. Hello. Please. Hina, are you investigating the dining hall? No, I'm just taking a break. Actually, I've been taking a break since we started. This is all a first for me, you know? I don't have the first clue what I should be doing. What do you mean? And I don't know why, but being in the dining hall helps keep me calm. So I know I shouldn't, but I've just been kind of hanging around here. To tell the truth, I was doing the same thing last night, when Sayaka was killed. Wait, you were here? The same thing last night. Do I have no comment to that? Excuse me? I'll take the coin. I really can't check out anything else here? Okay, this is what I was wondering. There we go. That's what I wanted. And one of the knives is missing. There's also a lot of vegetables. This is gonna go bad so quick. My god. We're not that many people. Who needs this much paprika? The vegetable will pile up. That's the only thing worth. Who? They refill this every day. Why? I just got the knife. All kinds of kitchen knives, too big to small. Looks like one of them is missing. What if missing from the very beginning, or let's see if anyone knows anyone here knows about it. Can I not check the note? Can I check anything else on this side of the thing? Okay, meat. Yank. Can I just grab some marbled meat? Salted meats. Now is no time to be thinking about food. But who? That's fine. I want to see these things. Okay, nothing else. Okay, do you have anything to say about the knife? It's been on food duty. Hina. Hey, Sweden noticed that one of the kitchen knives is missing from the dining hall?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, weird, huh? I thought it was kind of strange. A knife just suddenly disappeared like that. Ah, so it wasn't missing from the beginning.
That's right.
No, last I remember they were all lined up in a nice neat row. So when did you notice one of them had disappeared? Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, one of the knives was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah. In other words, you were right here in the dining hall when someone came and took it. Then you should be able to say for sure. You can tell everyone I didn't come to the dining hall last night. Which proves I didn't take it. It was an accident. Turned into a truth bullet. Hey, by the way, did you really kill Sayaka? But of course not! I would never! Hina, do you really think I murdered her?
I mean...
Well, she was killed in your room, right? So I mean, you guys were supposed to be friends, right? But you still killed her. On the other hand, two people becoming good friends, then one killing the other is a classic drama setup. So when you consider everything together, I honestly have no idea. Excuse me. Someone, you saw me not taking the knife. I'm living. I don't know. Laundry. I don't pile up some bloody clothing. Could be evidence. From here on out, I don't know. Is every single one of these something? There. This one. The swimsuit hanging down to dry, but it has nothing to do with what's going on. Who knows? How do you know? The washing machine that has nothing to do with this case. What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? Okay, but this one has to, right? Okay, my last bet. Damn it. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here. Machine's still there, isn't it? Okay, it's either... This was a dead end. Well, I got some coins, so I guess it's okay. I don't really know where else to go from here on. I can talk to people, I guess. I'm looking for whoever's on cleaning duty. Cleaning duty? As a matter of fact, that's me. What do you ask? It just so happens Monokuma talked to me yesterday and asked me to take care of it. Without someone on cleaning duty, the school would be flooded with trash in no time. So I formally applied for the position. I forgot. I don't know who's saying what. I was gonna start this morning, but after what happened, I haven't had a chance to get started. And since you're on cleaning duty, you can open the gate in front of the trash room? Of course! It's my job to gather up all the garbage and toss it in the trash room. And to do that, they gave me the key for the trash room gate. But I'm supposed to rotate once a week, so eventually you'll be in charge.
Very strange.
Wait, hold on. You need a key to get in the trash room? And the only person on cleaning duty has access to the key? What's the point of going to all that trouble? Why not just leave the trash room open all the time so we can all throw things out whenever we want? That does seem more
So
convenient.
in other words,
Anyone who kills a fellow student and becomes black and will guarantee unless they're discovered.
so that's it.
That must be why. If anyone could go in and out of the trash room whenever they wanted, then destroying evidence would be easy. The thrill would disappear and things would become boring. Boring?
Hey, listen.
Anyway, more important than that.
Hey, you bastard.
Hey, fatty. What do you mean, what? Hey, why do you want the cleaning duty gig anyway?
Oh.
It just decided to volunteer for something I knew no one else would want to do. What's the big deal?
You.
Liar. I know what you did it.
Is
I know that you did it. You want to dig through all the girls' trash looking for, you know, poking at it.
There's no way to think about this in a common sense kind of way.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You know what I mean?
There's all kinds of trash diggers like that. Maybe you'll get tired of 2D and then turn to. Hey.
Unforgivable!
Kidding. I don't like this song. After spending a significant amount of time comparing 2D and 3D, I voluntarily chose 2D. The only 3D thing is good for is to shower love and affection on 2D. I read that out loud. No. Hello, phone. You wanna spread the joy? Help. Help. Please. Someone's. Send it through the Easter egg. Oh my god. BBC figures.
Give me a break.
Yeah, no. And how are you not totally embarrassed about saying stuff like that? If you're so worried about his questionable morality, there's a very easy solution. Whenever a guy has cleaning duty, Sakura can accompany them for picking up the trash and dispose of it.
What?
If you're as innocent as you claim, where's the harm in it? That's not how it's supposed to. Anyway, on another topic, since you're on cleaning duty, I have a favor to ask you. What? So now you suddenly want to join the party? No, I do not. Haven't triggered the flag. No! I come from past trauma. It's a beating of a boss. No, it's nothing like that. I was just hoping to get into the trash room and look around.
You got it!
So easy. So, and I headed down the trash room. Help. Please. Help me. Anyone? Someone watching, please. I should take off my cat ears. I'm going to open the gate on you. You know, when I look at it, it makes me think. They said he killed his wife. They said he killed his wife. He learned how to get by on the inside, but he never stopped dreaming. Get busy living, or get busy dying, he said. Him and Rita, they found themselves a way out. Whatever, please just hurry up. He pulled a key out of his pocket and used it to flip the switch next to the gate. And then...
Mr. Naegi! Without a doubt.
Surely you aren't planning on using the trash room to destroy evidence, are you? You fiend. You planned this all along. No. I just wanted to see if the actual killer had tried to destroy any evidence or not. But the actual killer is you, isn't it? You want to see if you left anything behind. Wait, maybe a parallel world. Whatever. He's just hurry up and keep looking. Sure. This is the incinerator. It's way in the back part of the trash room. It's a good 30 feet from here to the gate. And it's on right now. It doesn't look on. Did you see the green and the yellow button next to the mouth of the incinerator?
Yes, indeed.
It's a pretty simple setup. You press the green button to get it going, and then the yellow button to turn it off. Sooner or later, you'll be on killing duty, so make sure you learn this before you leave, okay? Huh? Did someone turn the incinerator on? Very strange, and I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here.
Was it a
And perhaps it was the work of a fairy. Dude, do you realize what you just said? Oh, the fairy? No, you said the last time you were here the incinerator was off. Yes. About the time I came to be no mistake. About that, there can be no mistake. If I've got one thing going for me, it's my memory.
I feel as if.
Decide on one noise, dude. I'm barely keeping it together. Yesterday, as soon as I was appointed, I came down to check the place out. It definitely wasn't on then. I haven't been back to the trash room since then. And since I'm the only one who has the key to open the gate, it should be impossible for the incinerator to be on, and yet... So that means someone was able to switch on the incinerator without opening the gate. But how is that possible? Incinerator. Well, hello! Also, bloody cloth. It's a shard of broken glass shattered around the front of the incinerator. Looks like it used to be some kind of glass ball, just about big enough to fit in the palm of your hand.
Is this perhaps?
What's that? Do you know what this is? They said if you collect all 7, a dragon will appear and grant you a single wish. Kidding aside, it's the kind of thing you might see in a big city street corner. Gaze into it and it will show you a glimpse of the future. Just like the Mina girl who was on the quest to find that one guy. Yeah, I get that, what you're trying to say, but who does this particular ball belong to? Well, one person it could be. They should also be in the gym. I better go find out for sure. What? Shadow crystal ball. There's something on the ground in front of the incinerator. It looks like a burnt piece of something. A burnt piece, like a hunk? Like a hunk of burning love? Oh my gosh. Anyway, this is... It looks like a piece of cloth, and the shape. It's probably a sleeve from a button-up shirt. Now that I look at it, it's definitely the blood on the cuff, which means... This is all that's left of some of the evidence the killer destroyed. But there are lots of people here with button-up shirts. This isn't enough by itself to figure out who the killer is. Burnt shirt piece. An attitude, the truth. Thank you. This whole thing is quite strange indeed. Then I was here last, the incinerator was off and those glass shards and burnt clothes weren't here. What does that mean? Oh, will you be confessing soon? Why me? Everyone already knows. You did it. All the mysteries are being solved one by one. He's sounding more like Monocon for the second that's going by. Sounds like he's living out one of his comic book fantasies. Do I need to talk to the guy? Feels checking everything. Yeah. Wait. This thing. Hello. Huge trash can. Darn. Oh, whatever it's for, doesn't seem falling any close. Queen. These don't spook me like the coincidence map. Mr. You seem a little down. Really? If you need help, leave. No, I don't want to follow you. Oh my gosh, no, go away. No, I'm leaving. Bye. Yes, I'm gonna leave the area. Even just let him stay in that trash room. Help. Oh my god. Hello, I didn't talk to you yet, but I don't really wanna. Wait, did these guys leave? No, they're still here. Hey, you were right, buddy.
By the way,
You know I wasn't good today. Oh god. Diamond.
you son of a shit.
Oh, there's nothing
Fucking
new.
dead.
I got my reply for one of the people I sent it to. Oh. Help. Help indeed. Trying to find a face. I'm gonna do this. Has Robert seen this before?
Yo. Come join. But okay, I don't know what else to do right now. I guess we can talk to more people, but he has to first kick like there's a dead body. Or two. Oh yeah, now I remember what I was gonna do. Okay. Hold on. Jump. Okay, gym. This is not the gym. The gym is this way. Yes. At the end here, right on the corner. Yes. Okay. Okay, we need to find the balls. But how? Wait, I clicked on this one. Yeah. Hello there. We'll close this one and then welcome. Dead body. As to be a little more child-friendly, they made the blood pink. Don't ask why. I don't know. I have cat ears on. I don't know. Well, that's what you're supposed to do, so technically. Hey, Jiro. I was hoping I could ask you something.
Huh?
What is it? Before she died, Sayaka left a message. She wrote the number 11037. Ah, yeah. No, auto is on. Huh. It's her. She is the murderer. Right? No, she's a poor little one. Come on. He's so sweet and innocent. Look at the eyes. Everyone says like, oh, you haven't seen the worst yet. Do you have any idea what those numbers might mean? Like, could it be a code or something? Sorry, no. Shiro slowly shook her head.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. Okay, well, don't worry about it. Thanks anyway for trying. Even she doesn't know. Or could she maybe know more than she's letting on? No, couldn't be. Okay, anything else I can check out here? No, I already looked at her. I guess it's camera? Yeah. Cameras. There's cameras everywhere. You should have seen the text from yesterday or 2 days before or something like that. It took off. Same guy, I think. No, it was Monicum actually. Our little principal. He, No, no. Hey. What? I stopped reading at some point. He was a little bit happy about talking about his flagpole. I think that's what he used. I can go back and check. Oh, you can do it. You can go back and check. I don't know. If you go back in the comments, I was right before someone joined the stream. Worst timing ever. Hey, Hiro, can I ask you something? No, I gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here now. I had enough. I break free. Hiro, snap out of it. My toes. Your toes are too lazy. Oh, fine by me. What? Okay. What are you doing here? What? Hey, does this look familiar? That's my crystal ball. But it's all smashed. What the hell? I only brought it because the guy said it was blessed. He said it was unbreakable. So how did it break? Was it actually made out of glass? Not a crystal? I think it totally duped me? He said it belonged to the pillars of history. Genghis Khan, George Washington, Napoleon. Definitely not this dude. No. I know who it is though. Since I remember this first kill, later on I don't remember who killed anyone. He said whoever controlled the crystal ball controlled the world. Was seriously all BS? Let's put that aside for now. So, can you say without a doubt that this belonged to you? Yeah, that's mine for sure. I probably forgot it in the laundry room last night. Someone must have come by and snatched it. You left it in the laundry room? That means anyone could have found it and taken it. Bottom has been updated. Thanks, Hiro. That's all I wanted to know. By the way, I'm almost afraid to ask, but how much did you pay for that thing? Everything is saved up from fortune telling for 2 full years. Come out to be like $1 million. $1 million? That's pretty cheap actually. I mean, considering we'd give you the power to control the world. No, no, there isn't. No. Where's my mouse? I wanted to get my mouse on the screen. Let's see if I can flip out for him. Hold on. I need to do a thing. Hold on. No, OBS, be big. Show me. I need to do a thing. Oh, that's not it. Ah, damn it, I don't know how to. Oh no, it's been difficult. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Hold on. Hold on. I got this. I got it. No, where is it? No, go. No! Come back. I can't move. Someone. Okay, it was about the bottom. Yeah. Wait, do I not have those symbols here? I don't have them. Oh, that needs to be fixed. No, they're there. Oh my god. Oh, this is gonna be painful. No. Okay, this one. This. And this. And that. Take me a full minute. Ding dong.
I'm getting tired of waiting. What say we just get started, It's time for the long-awaited class trial! Now then, allow me to appoint
You said
a
it first.
proper location for the proceedings. Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
You can't go through any other
See
floors.
you soon.
The red room on the first floor. That's where I should go. No, that's where I have to go. So let's do it. Why, hello. Can chapter 1 end soon? It's been chapter 1 for forever. Oh my god, my OBS is big. It's fine. I can see myself a little better now. Clear my throat. Sit back. Get away from the mic. You're late, Makoto. We've all been waiting for you. But you were afraid you would be discovered as the murderer you are.
Listen to me.
There's no jump to conclusion just yet. Save that for the class trial. There, we can all reveal the details of Makoto's crime. So they are convinced I did it. But I didn't do it. Me and Sayaka both know that all too well. Yeah, we found me and her switched rooms for just that one night, and we've figured out a lot of evidences to what have happened. Someone trying to incinerate their evidences, nameplates being switched, even though they switched rooms because they thought someone was gonna try and kill her. The one who murdered Sayaka. Is it really one of us? The one dead in the main room was because of this guy.
Is everyone here? Okay then, please board the elevator in front of you, which will transport you to the courtroom.
So now I need
Where
to
all your fates will be decided.
use her evidences to
I'll
point
meet
out
you
who
all
the actual
down
killer
there.
is.
I'll be waiting.
You! She's the detective. Let's get started. Let's look at her.
Hey.
There's no point in standing around her. Sell your resolve and step into the future. Ding Dong, have you started watching this one yet? Just curious. Well, did you find anything that might prove your innocence? Nope. Okay. This will be interesting for you then. But okay, then I can give a little introduction here as well. There were a certain amount of students that was gonna allow to attend this high up end school. And everyone is an ultimate out of their field. She's ultimate strength bodybuilder or something. From my watching of the series, I know she's the type of detective. These guys don't know it yet. He's the like grade A type student who's always on time and whatnot. He's the ultimate swimmer, ultimate novel writer, baseball star, fanfic maker. You would know to love this guy. Gang member, type hippie style, hacker, computer. And two of the celebrities died, and I think she's kind of a celebrity too. Can't remember you. Not 100% on you, but yeah. I don't think there's any point on talking to many more than as I have. Leon, actually.
You know what I mean.
Well, I did my job. I'm counting on the rest of you from here on out. Is there anything else but people? No. Guess I have no choice but to get on this elevator.
Well then.
Let us begin.
Yes, indeed. Hey,
Are you scared? No, scared isn't quite right.
Makoto.
It's that hacker girl still. Because they were fighting around with, it looked like a sword inside the room. And then they broke kind of into the bathroom and she was stabbed. Also her wrists were broken. I said it before, but it's up to you to uncover the mysteries surrounding this case yourself. If you don't, you'll never come to grips with the truth. I need to cover the truth of Sayaka's death. I didn't need someone else to tell me to do that. In Sayaka's honor, I swear I'll find out who the real killer is. As I raised my voice to try and give myself courage, I turned, trembling with anticipation, towards the elevator. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. Everyone else was already on the elevator when I finally stepped on. Also, the thing is, they need to figure out who the killer is, because the only way to get out of this place is to kill someone and get off scotch-free. They will all have a little meeting, decide upon one person that they think did it, and if they're correct, that person will be killed. But if they're wrong, the rest will be killed, and the one who murdered will go free. That's why the pressure is also really great on this. The door closed and the elevator started to move. The steel box descended with heavy clunking sounds towards the school's basement. I wonder if this is how a death row inmate feels when his final hour comes. Just die in this situation, not gonna lie.
Oh,
No, I would just like, okay, guys, man, let's make friends. Now we live together now. This is our new life. That's how I would have been. But then they got this DVD that showed them something. For our character, it showed like, oh, happy family. They're happy that he got into this high up end school. And then the next, you see the room like destroyed and deserted, and their parents is gone. Like if someone is a maniac, there's no friend. Well, no one had killed anyone yet, until now. One of these guys is a murderer. And more will be. Let's just say that. The maniac is the one who closed them in at the school, I'd say. Other than that, it's not more than a defendant wanting to receive his judgment. Obviously, to our shared anxiety, the elevator lowered us further and further into the bowels of the school. This is a long elevator. You finally arrived! What do you think? Doesn't it feel just like a real courtroom? It's like a Hollywood movie set, right? Not even close. It's total shit.
Well now.
Okay. Everyone find your assigned seat and sit down. Hurry up now, hurry up. We did what he said and found our seats. He's the headmaster. Yeah, you can see the pictures of the people that are gone. The seats were arranged in a giant circle. It was set up so that everyone could see everyone else, which also means it'll be easier for anyone to transfer their attention and ease to anyone else. We are the lost ones. The air seems to go heavy as we sat there. We stood, but okay. And so the curtain on the first case opened. A deadly judgment, a deadly decision, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Why was there no dramatic? So now chapter 1 is done. Excuse me. It's taken me forever. Skill? Increase your truth bullet rate of fire. Effective during a non-stop debate. A bullet time final. Costs 3 points. Ah, increasing damage to the opponent. Statement is destroyed. Okay, so I can get both of these guys. Guess that's the only two I have. Okay. R? No, escape? Yes. Okay, unclick that one. Finish preparations? Trial, alright. Oh, okay.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Yeah, I'm totally doing his ones right now.
Of course.
Okay, then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Spastic.
Don't be a
What?
goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat?
Help.
There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's life is on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Sure! As things progress, during each class trial you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, characters will speak one after another without pause. It's up to you to unearth any lines or contradictions buried within their statements. Can't read. What the dude doesn't extra? Me too! What this means is that you'll have to use your truth bullets to fuel what they say. Any relevant truth bullets you found during your investigation will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the mouse to aim, then fire with the left mouse button. Gotcha. Pay close attention to each character's statements and use your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. If you press escape key during the argument, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, I'm gonna have to focus here because I have no idea how this is gonna go down. That was a struggle. Okay.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono. Yeah, we know that part already.
Okay,
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
that's fine.
In the bathroom.
Okay.
So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom.
Nope.
She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Well, something's off about what was just said. Because if Sayaka hasn't resisted at all, there's no explanation for what have happened in my room. For the first debate, we'd like to take a quick sidebar. If you're unable to spot and refuse someone's lies or contradictions, the argument will repeat. Within a group of statements, some words appear in a different color. Did you happen to notice? Nope. It represents a potential hole in a person's statement, a possible weak spot. These weak spot reveals important through not always inaccurate sections of a person's statement. I can't read. Your truth bullets are only effective against those weak spots. So when you use someone come up, take aim and fire, but only if you're sure it's actually wrong. Also, you can fast forward an argument by holding down the control key. Well then, good luck and have fun.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already. And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
Okay.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
Okay.
No, it's wrong!
Gotcha. Break. So dramatic.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
She wasn't there.
With the way things had been damaged,
She
I think
never
we can
entered the room.
definitely assume there was a struggle.
Yeah.
A struggle? Between who and who?
It's fine. But thank you for stepping by though. Yeah, I know you're Dago. It's fine. You just take care of your Dago. Let me stay here. Nice. I know I'm late live and you go to bed early, so it's fine.
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
I wonder why. We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Okay, so... Okay.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, it's wrong.
I'm just gonna go for yellow text. What is
No.
this?
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife.
What is
I'm
this?
almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah.
I like these, I don't
I
need to
guess
read
that
them.
makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Yeah, you could.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
Quickly on the blame here.
Right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
He's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough of somewhere just waiting for us to find it. Because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Do you like to know more? Sure. You can concentrate by holding down the melon key. It's a spacebar. Get it right. Concentrate. While you concentrate, your time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it will steady your aim, making it easier to target potential weak spots. Concentrating like this consumes the focus gauge. Gauge. And if this gauge empties, you can't concentrate. The focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest. No need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. This is why I want to learn this.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Kodo must have taken it from the kitchen.
See, I'm not moving my mouse, but it's moving its own.
When nobody was in the dining hall.
No, it's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night and the knives were all still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, well, the knife was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In
That's
other
not good
words,
grammar.
there's no way I could have taken the knife.
The same for everyone else, buddy, so that doesn't help.
Then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Just want to get out of here?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
What if they both held like,
So in
holds the
other
knife?
words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rule?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
I love her tie.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Oh, come on.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't
Yeah,
really
that's what we
thinking,
should have
I just
done.
asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem. A boy and a girl spending the night together?
What?
It's
They're both girls.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so
What do you think about the
But if it
skirt?
wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Fair.
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here? Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, the person who took the knife from the kitchen was...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I remember something shady.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Likely, yeah.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us
He does sound like
all in the
Monokuma.
wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying
Stop vibrating.
talent.
Stop, please. Oh, damn. If I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. They don't understand. If they convict me, everyone is gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
She knows everything
Because
already.
you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Okay, first, I'd really like to hear more. Yes, please. As things advance further in the class trial, the Hangama Gamut will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident of Christian, not Otto. You'll have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around, and the letters already known. Complete the phrase by shooting down the flying letters in the right order. No! Grab her! If you shoot down the wrong letters, you'll suffer damage. If the answer is a 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Well, good luck and have fun. Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. Must be the crucial points. If we just figure out what that something is. Hangman's Gambit. He... What here?
Now I understand.
I'm so confused.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So,
Again.
the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No, because she was found in there.
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ah, stupid Celeste, come on.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
There's more evidence than that, buddy.
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
She's smiling, I love it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
You were there, buddy, when she talked about the doorknob.
How did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer's trouble getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proved it is... the object the killer broke. So what happened you do? There's no doubt the fact is an important one. But we need to know the evidence is left behind at the scene which proves it. Do you remember? Oh. I already know which one it is.
I got it!
Okay, so I picked the wrong one?
It's that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom.
God.
You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall
Room's
off?
so warm. I'm gonna turn off the heat.
Oh yeah, true. But what does
So
it
you
mean?
were in there.
Trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room?
What's this smile?
But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
Debate.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Just tell us. You sound like Aurelius. You said it was a bewildering act. Why is he pointing? I was noticed at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about the non-sub debates. Yes, please tell me. From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or condition in the debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the wrong one and not only will you fail to refute what they say, but you also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence guard will take damage. Now this is important because if your influence goes down to 0, you fail. To rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Come on, good luck. Have fun. Thank you. Now comes the part here. Bathroom door frame.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
We're going over this
Sayaka
one.
was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom. At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
They didn't have to.
Shoot!
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran and they got into the bathroom. At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
No.
Because Sayaka had locked it.
That is the part that I wanted to react on, but... Okay. Fine.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right?
Unlucky student, that's the
Such a
thing.
cruddy door. That's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
Silence on the
Everyone
door.
should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
I was gonna say the bathroom door was locked. So they didn't know what the door actually could be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime is
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms. Which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
It was everyone else.
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
So I've been trying to tell you guys.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But
What?
what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
No.
Majority rules? Do you really think that's a good idea?
Leon, thank you.
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs
We
to
have,
do something.
for now, no one is suspected. I know who it is,
Does
but...
no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Thanks you, Celeste. Please let me take up.
As a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Okay.
Oh, you...
You're gonna sound so disappointed.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's
Yeah, that's
room
what I
in
want
the
to know
first
too.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe
Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
True. So technically you should be safe in your rooms.
How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular, because how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. It's no way Saka let someone in because... This one? Oh, so that's the evidence. Wait, maybe not.
Shoot!
Do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. That's him because... Just switching rooms?
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
Sorry, my breath just went away from me there. Same with Fisaka. No matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. What's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh?
Why?
Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just the two of us. In 5 minutes. Come see me in my room. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the room wrong, okay? Sayaka.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appear.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows.
I remember something shady.
You can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Why did you even ask? Then that note, Sayaka wrote it.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
Sure, buddy.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Of course.
Very well then. Pay attention.
Okay, it has begun. Dorm nameplates.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
No, it's wrong.
I'm focused. I'm sorry. I don't want to die.
The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
Shut up, stomach.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
I feel like this trial is gonna last a long time.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Nope. Why would I?
Right. Okay, then who did it?
Person could have switched the nameplates. Oh no. The only person who knew had switch rooms.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
I'm tired to you. Just the two of us in 5 minutes. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplates. Make sure you don't get the room wrong, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
That's what I can't remember.
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
Why?
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Gold. The reason why I know Sayaka's wrist fake sword was because wrist was no doubt.
I got it!
Easy.
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
Yep. Good job, buddy.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room? And what led to Saka's death? That's what we need to make clear. There's a bit more to learn. Oh my god. Teach me. I'm getting used to the non-stop debates. Kind of. Starting with the next debates, I'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. Just like with the weak spots, only one of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you'll have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. Not with the wrong wrong. What is it? It will damage you. Oh my god. You can press the Q key to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. And press and release the Q key to cycle through each bullet. Or you can use the mouse wheel. By the way, if the logic difficulty is set to kind, fewer bullets will be loaded into the cylinder. For a purpose this time, the logic difficulty will be set to mean. Okay, well then, good luck and have fun. I picked normal! I don't want mean! Replica sword, kitchen knife set, replica sword. Sleeth, okay.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. The sword-based sneak attack!
I don't know.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. But then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Wasn't the sword really did attack first? There's no explanation for how a certain part of the sword got damaged.
When the fighting broke out,
okay,
the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
No, that's wrong! Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched.
Sheath.
See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So she planned to kill someone and they got him to his room to frame him. Is that what I was forgetting?
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
That might have been it, actually.
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself, but then the culprit took that from her too.
I like these parts. I can just sit back.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Why would her then she be attacked?
How the hell can you not think that?
How would she break her
Because
wrist
she
by
never
the
held
sword?
the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The wrist, and also her hands were spotless. Part of her body that shows she never used the sword. I would say the hands. Which part? Her palms. I'm getting hearts back.
Her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before,
How would you hold the
gold
sword?
coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
And water's turned off as well, so they.
Washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Why?
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
No, that's not it at all.
What? There's no way she washed it off because certain religion. Water was off. Easy.
According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Can't even get water? Like, drink?
I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Girl, you don't need to say that.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
How was that ever a compliment?
Obviously. So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
Damaged the sheath.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
And the one who attacked first was...
Why wouldn't she hide away the sword then?
Sayaka? Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
We said we would do anything to let her get out of there.
On me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto.
Makoto?
But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For
Yeah.
one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
Not before it was too late.
I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
She was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
I knew it was something shady, I just didn't remember what.
Her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
Her right hand.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
Oh, buddy.
Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument.
Not really.
You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Hey, I'm not in charge of this.
Decide who we think did it.
Technically still don't have any more clues in that direction.
Right now, you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her. What can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. There is, buddy. No, please don't be on hard again. No, I don't wanna. Dang message. Thank God.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
That's wrong.
No, it's wrong!
Brick.
There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka wrote that message. You can prove that.
I got it! Her
So,
left
any in my head?
index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
There you got it.
Yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1, 1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
You're right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1, 1. But looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa, you might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Come on.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037 doesn't make any more sense than before.
God, it's no use. I just don't know. I do.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Yes, go girl. Huh? Rotate it. I think maybe I see something.
Oh my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Because the message reveals the killer's name. If you turn the message 180 degrees, it should become crystal clear. Hello, Leon.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery
Okay, I
is
wish it
simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees.
actually did it for me, but
If you turn the
I already
message around,
remembered what this was.
it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
That's the same thing, buddy.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
Really?
It's
One?
just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
That voice doesn't sound as no fit
it's
his
not random at all.
emotion.
She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
I already
That
tried.
sounds like one hell of a stretch to me.
Yeah, sure, Leon.
I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Evidence that Leon tried to get rid of. Is that the thing I found on the ground in front of the incinerator, right?
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator?
I'm so glad they don't
right?
make me read all of this.
As the killer stabbed
So
Sayaka,
happy.
they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
True.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
There they are.
Yeah, I think so.
What remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible. How?
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say.
Okay.
You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
You know a little too much, don't you?
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You need the key to get in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty.
But he would also
So
not
the
have
killer had to be whoever was
messed
in
around
charge
in
of
the area.
taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. No, no, here we go. Just give me one, please. Shattered crystal ball. Thank you.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who
that's
could
true.
get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy. No,
that's the wrong part. Break.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
buddy.
But how would you use it?
I had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was throw it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Yep.
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Hifumi. Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on? Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off the last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room.
Quite obvious, I'd say.
The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
I wonder.
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible. Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is... I got it!
Yep. I didn't.
Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon? Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
Man convinces otherwise.
You still won't admit it? Okay then. Makoto, go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear.
I'm not looking forward to this part.
We can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Okay, I have a feeling there's a lot of information gonna come down here.
But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Oh my god, no. The closing argument is about to begin. Yep, give me. Every case has one last element to bring the class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In this phase, you will give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events of the case in front of the in form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that in the comic, there is a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to combine the comic using the provided truth panels. Once you take aim at a missing section and press the left mouse button, look how you can get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. Okay. This is... what? Oh, okay. No. Yes. This. But I think I was wrong in the first one. I guess I'm missing something?
The killer is you!
Oh, okay.
I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell,
I think I did correct.
Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill her. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I'd put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist.
She dropped the knife though.
The killer is you! During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife.
That's why I tweeted out a picture of her dropping the damn knife.
Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it.
I have a store does that count?
Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open.
I kind of like this way of doing things. The only thing that stresses me out is the timer.
And stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from
I hate the
noticing,
bottom
she wrote
right
it on the wall
picture.
behind her.
Ugh.
And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator.
I'm frowning. I'm not, but just
So
lighting.
they came up with a plan to use Hero's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball
That's some
through
splits,
the
bad.
cabin gate
Mine.
and hit the incinerator switch.
Nice.
For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot. And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star.
I like how my body just fades into the darkness behind me here.
The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life.
Ding! Oing? It doesn't look like a D, but okay. Heh.
Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence.
Even if they didn't notice, there wasn't really much they could have done. Kaboom!
Isn't that right, Leon?
You have like 8 holes in your ear, buddy. It's too many.
It would appear that Hero simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Yes?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence?
All of this is evidence.
Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
What? I have the evidence? What? For the bullet time battle. Oh my god. Wait on me. Tell me. Sometimes during a class trial, your opponent simply won't want to hear what you have to say. When this happens, you will engage them in a head-to-head battle. like to refer to this as the bullet time battle. Okay, BTB, by the way. Tilted my camera. During the BTB, you want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with the rhythm. Excuse me? Match your button presses with the tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Okay. Press the right mouse button to lock on to an opponent's statement. Destroy that statement you locked onto with the left mouse button as the tempo marker reaches the center. Okay. I like how they get the dotted line, just like, come on, just process this. Use this method to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be the one in pain. Give me... okay. Is consensually and you'll start a combo. Keep this going and you'll initiate a tempo up. Why? On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll get a tempo down situation. When the tempo changes, so does the timing for each for hitting each button. So watch out for that. Deal enough damage to your opponent and their weak spot statement will appear. At that point, you can press the left mouse button to shoot it down with a truth bullet like any other statement. Refuse their statement fast enough and you'll come out victorious. But just like before, if you influence courage reaches 0 or you run out of time, you fail. Well then, good luck and have fun. This is a lot to take in.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it.
No.
Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
There's something that they want to remove the screws. Could it have been...
I refuse to acknowledge you! You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
I have to show people evidence that Leanne is the killer. I need to figure it out. The moment of truth. Hey, buddy.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie!
I don't understand!
Talking. Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! Stupid! You lie! Shut up!
I don't understand! What? Nobody believes me. No one wants to hear what it has to say. No! I don't... I don't understand! What? What? Do I need to do this all over again? Back into bed.
Is this really the end for all?
Give it another shot. Yes!
I refuse to give up yet.
Oh, so close to restarting. It's bullet time. Battle. Give it to me! I don't understand. I'm doing the class really important. Okay, fine. It's happening against the battle. It's a bullet to the bottom of the game. That's fine. Hitting the video, you want to destroy your opponent's statements in time with rhythm. Okay. Match your button presses with each tempo marker as they move across the screen and reach the center. Okay. Press the right mouse button to lock on to an opponent's statement. Destroy the statement you locked onto with the left mouse button as the tempo marker reaches the center. Use the method to deal damage to your opponent. If you can't pull it off, you'll be in pain. Essentially, and you'll start a combo. Tempo up. Tempo down. Enough damage you can press the left mouse button to shoot it down with a truth bullet, like any other statement. Refuse the statement fast enough and you will come out victorious. Fail.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't
Second try.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. You lie. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me?
Okay, I understand.
Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
Okay, I got it. I need to switch up. It's not just that one on the beat. It's
Screws on the
both on the
bathroom
beat.
doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
This doesn't really prove much though. But
We got each had one inside.
could have been any other nails for that matter.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
We never checked the other rooms.
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid,
Toolkit opened.
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
That's freaky.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
Still freaky. Please go away. I fell on one. See. Hey, I'll take it. I messed up a little bit here and there. It's 10 parts. Oof. Wait, 74? That's a lot.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes?
Mm-hmm.
You all have a lever in front of
Oh
you.
my God.
Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all,
Am I quitting?
triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right?
Oh, okay, so we get punished for that too.
Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened?
What do you think?
Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one?
I don't know what he
What's
wants.
it gonna be?
I guess
What's
the
it
right
gonna
one
be?
is more entertainment for him. This is from the show. So tacky. At least get good graphics. No, come on, don't make me weird now. Ugh. The Blackened in this case is the one that killed Saya. It was none other than Leon.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Leon. And did he really kill Sayaka?
You son of a bitch!
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So that's why
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was completely chance that I wound up like this.
I was just unlucky. That's all.
Why are they reading like half of it but not the rest?
Hey, come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about that, honestly, I'd better off if we'd been wrong. You wanted everyone to die instead? Because of what we came up with really is the truth. Then that truth is that Sakaya was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now, we're trapped here. There's no way out. They're probably waiting for me. I can't afford to be stuck in here. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends. To have to see something like that happen to them, and Sayaka. I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it. Even some things that weren't so pleasant. And then that's why Sayaka, for the friend that meant so much to her. That's why she betrayed me. So when she said,
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
she was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Look at Celeste's hair on someone else doesn't fit. He looks super happy about that hairdo though. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. Oh boy, howdy. The entertainment industry must be sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships. She seems so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside she descended into pure madness. What did you say? I understand. I really do. Yep. You were not under despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka. It's 16 there. Sayaka's being forced to do something like that. All of it, everything. It's all your fault.
Suddenly in a frenzy, I launched at Monokuma, but
That's enough.
as angry as I was, Kyoko lashed onto my arm without hesitating. Her grip was like iron, strong enough. I was sure it would have leave a bruise. If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Damn it. And then there was a close... Oh, that was a close one. I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good walloping. Just barely avoided punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the blackened Leon will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution? Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
That's it?
I just protected myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense. How exactly was it self-defense? When you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she had shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. When you came all the way back, you broke into the bathroom and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
Do you have any number of chances? You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had an unclouded intent to commit murder? You might have also just brought it from the get-go. No, that's not. Stop it. I've had enough of this. Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? He killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either, because the one to blame is him. Eh? If it weren't for you, this never would have happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against the one who put us in this situation, the mastermind. No. Did you awaken? Did you awaken your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war over the whole world. And what kind of justice? Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up. Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for, the punishment.
Please, don't do this!
No more begging. No more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop, please!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Leon, the ultimate baseball star.
No!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
No!
It's a little bit more cartoonish than I remember. This is exactly how the anime goes, though. Time for the punishment! Yeah, this is the anime. No, it's not. I don't know. It's the same style. Okay, it probably is it. This is the anime. The 1000 boom. Music sounds like reminds me of
I think like monkey bus or something in these two. This one though is 100% more brutal. Brutal. That's one way to die. Why is Monokuma sweating? Why did we get so close? Can someone tell me that? You don't want to show us? Oh, come on. And we're back. What we saw was a true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Extreme!
Not my adrenaline is pumping right out of control! Yep. What's going on?
I can't take it.
Do we really have to keep going doing this? I just can't take it.
Well?
Oh hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all the ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
Fuck you. Why the fuck are you doing this to evil shit to us?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type guy.
Say what?
Or, in this case, a dark, awful, secret society type of beer?
Well...
Why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such grueling ordeal?
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. It's like trying to put a mile on a scale. It's just not possible. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together. You piece of shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't get free from your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course we can get free of the outside world. Being trapped here is in place. You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of the school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't this a wonderful how we all get to live here forever? What are you trying to say? I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in here. Just like before.
Chills! Kills!
Everyone is running for after all.
Hey.
When you said everyone, who exactly were you referring to?
Sorry, I've said everything I've got to say. You need to save some for the fun later.
Some of the fun later. Bye. And just like that, he was gone. Left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Some more shocked than others. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But it was in that moment.
Just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in closer and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, is there something you want? There's something I want to talk to you about. Huh? It's about Sayaka, isn't it?
I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of the case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sakaya betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool, becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that you can never change. But even till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decisions. That's why... As she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However...
Even if you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
So...
The fact she used her last ounce of energy to leave a dying message proved it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Well, maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her. That's what I was thinking.
Certainly.
That's certainly one possibility, but I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when I think about it. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're that kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the depths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such desperate situations. Move past their deaths? I could never do that. No. I'm going to carry them with me for the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their moments with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh, well... I'm psychic.
What?
Aww. Kidding. They just have a good intuition. To survive. Chapter 1, to survive. The end. Thank God! I've been live already 3 hours for now. 12 left. It's still too many! To be continued. This game is long. Or is this the game? You got the despair bat present. No, there has to be a lot more to the game. You want to save? You think so? Mouse wheel can't go that direction. Okay. This will be the end for me here. Because, my god. We're going 3 hours. Luckily, most of this I didn't have to use my voice. My voice isn't too shot, but I'm still gonna end it here. So, I'm gonna hold this up. I'm gonna exit the game. F1. Let me out of here. System. Return to main menu, thank you. I just saved, so that's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna end this here, because this has taken forever. So I'm gonna say thank you, Ding Dong, for stopping by. And thank you everyone else for watching as well. I can turn this off because this is bright enough. I still don't know why Sakura is on the main screen here, but I don't know. I can't remember who dies next. This was basically the part that I remembered. So we still have a lot more of hours to go before we're done with this. But yeah, so like I said, I'm gonna end this here. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm gonna be back again tomorrow as always. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye everybody. Goodbye everyone. Good night. No. Sweet dreams. And don't let the big bugs bite.